After Sammy and his friends returned to their world, they believed that everything was finally over. The Shadow Kingdom had been destroyed, and the Storm King was nothing more than a memory. But, as is often the case with great adventures, peace did not last long. That night, while everyone celebrated their victory, Sammy sat alone under a large tree overlooking the valley. He looked at the sky, trying to grasp everything that had happened. But suddenly, he felt something strange pulsing within his chest, as if a part of the crystals that merged with his energy hadn't disappeared entirely. Then he saw small cracks forming in the sky, cracks that emitted a faint light and dark energy all at once. The energy was familiar in a troubling way, and Sammy realized immediately that this was not the end of the story. In the morning, Sammy gathered with Layla, Finn, and the rest of the team. He tried to explain what he saw and felt, but he could barely find the right words. The crystals we destroyed were not the end, just a barrier preventing something greater from entering our world. What do you mean by something greater? Finn asked anxiously. Sammy replied, his eyes glinting with mystery. The crystals weren't just a power source for the Storm King. They were part of a gateway connecting the Shadow Kingdom to another deeper, darker realm. And when we destroyed them, we restored balance, but we released something that was imprisoned behind them. Imprisoned? Layla asked, as fear began to show on her face. Sammy nodded and said, an ancient entity, far stronger than the Storm King. It had been waiting for the right moment to emerge, and now it is here. Before they could discuss further, the ground shook suddenly, and the sky turned black, with wide cracks opening in the horizon. From them emerged strange creatures, resembling moving shadows, yet they possessed blazing eyes and twisted wings. They're not just creatures, Finn shouted as he drew his sword. Sammy shouted, don't attack them. Their message is just the beginning. But one of those beings, the largest of them all, headed straight for Sammy. It stopped in front of him, its glowing eyes fixed on him. Then in a deep, terrifying voice it said, Sammy, you are the one who opened the gate. And now, you must pay the price. The creature stormed towards the village, spreading chaos and fear. The friends tried to defend it, but the number of shadows continued to grow endlessly. At that moment, Sammy realized that the only way to stop this chaos was to confront its source. We have to go back, Sammy shouted. Back where? Layla asked as she fought a creature with all her might. To the depths of the Shadow Kingdom. Layla and Finn looked at him in shock, but they realized that Sammy was serious. They had no other choice. If they didn't intervene now, the entire world could be in danger. After a fierce battle, Sammy and his companions managed to escape the creatures and entered through a mysterious gate that had been hidden all along. Upon their return to the Shadow Kingdom, they found themselves in a completely different place. The ground was not only covered in darkness, there was a sea of dark energies flowing in every direction. In the center of that world was a colossal entity, its body composed of pure shadows, its eyes like twin flames watching everything. Welcome back, Sammy, the entity said in a deep voice that shook the earth. Who are you? Sammy asked, feeling the energy of the crystals within him react to the entity's presence. I am the Guardian. I was imprisoned behind the crystals, and you are the one who released me. Now, you must prove you deserve to remain in this world. Sammy realized that this was not just a physical battle, but a test of his heart, courage, and wisdom. The entity was not merely an enemy. It represented the darkness within every person. Facing this entity, Sammy and his friends would need everything they had learned in their previous journey. But this time, physical sacrifice would not suffice. They had to confront their deepest fears and overcome the doubts that plagued them to restore light to this dark world.